PUBG Esports fans, I'm your PUBG Esports guide, Annie, and I'm here again with Paper Thin.
Hey guys, what's up?
So we're finally here again to talk about the year's finale, PGC 2025.
Yeah, it was a really great year. I mean, so many exciting events. We had the PGSs in Shanghai to start with 17 Gaming and BB Team taking really exciting wins. And then we had EWC where Twisted Minds took home a huge victory. They were looking great. We go into PGS, into Malaysia, and of course it's Twisted Minds again, winning yet another PGS. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. And then we got a surprise win with Virtus Pro, who really stepped up big for the final PGS of the year.
Yeah, so after this Road to PGC events, we now have the 33 teams who will be participating in this year's finale, PGC 2025. PUBG Global Championship 2025 will be held in Bangkok, Thailand in Central World and Siam Paragon from November 28th to December 14th. So this time we will unite PUBG and PUBG Mobile together so you can enjoy PUBG and PUBG Mobile in Bangkok, Thailand. And in the grand final, we'll have PMGC and PGC all together in the single united stage where you can enjoy both PGC and PMGC and the united ceremony. So don't miss out. We have changed the format in PGC 2025. Last year, we had a different start based on the performance on the Road to PGC tournaments, but now it's a fresh new start. We have made the format simple, but giving a second chance.
Yeah, I really like this format, especially for the fans. Like, there's so much to be hyped about here because we're dividing everybody, 32 teams, into two different groups, right? So you need to do well in the groups to get that direct ticket to the grand finals. 5 teams from each group go to the grand finals. Then the middle 8 teams from each group go on to that last chance stage, right? So that's another 3 days where those teams are gonna battle it out for the last 5 spots. So again, so intense. It's gonna come down to the wire for sure on those last couple of days to find out which 15 teams are gonna go into that grand finals to join Full Sense, who gets that direct slot.
So as you mentioned, we have wildcard team for the host country, the best Thai team, which goes to Full Sense, but this time they go straight to the grand finals.
Yeah, this is really cool for them. They've performed really well overall this year. You look at players like Tanadol and Tigger, who have been really, really good in the fragging department. Obviously, Flash is and Belmoth are long stays in Thai esports. So these guys are going to be a threat, no doubt about it.
As this is the first time for wildcard team to go straight to the grand finals, I hope this Thailand team, Full Sense, show a great performance in front of their home fans. Let's move on to top 8 teams from the PGS points. Having 3 EMEA teams and first and second, the Twisted Minds and Virtus Pro, we can see how strong the EMEA teams have been in the global stage. First is the Twisted Minds who have won PGS 9 and EWC.
Yeah, there's a no doubter about this team being the favorites coming into PGC. Batulin just talked about it all year that, now that they've got that EWC win, there's only one thing left in the trophy case for them to get to really cement themselves as the legendary team in PUBG Esports. That's that PGC win. So Twisted Minds is going to come in hungry. I can't wait.
Next in the second is Virtus Pro, which kind of surprised me winning PGS 10.
Exactly. I mean, we're really happy to see Ibiza finally get a trophy after such a long time in PUBG Esports. That was such a cool moment. And clearly, him kind of changing some of the ideas of this team to give them better macro plans has really, really paid off, no doubt about it. They rocketed up the leaderboards these last 2 events. And Corexi as well coming in, really started to frag out for that squad. So this is a tremendous team that is really showing that they are going to be a threat at PGC.
Next to go is third, the Team Falcons, which is the most consistent team in America's region.
Other than them not qualifying for the finals of PGS 10, it's actually been a really, really solid year. They're so consistent in terms of their game planning, their strategy, their firepower. Across the board, they're such a strong team. It's surprising not to see them in the PGS 10 finals, but I think PGC, there should be a really good chance they get to that finals and are competing for the trophy.
Next is Korean team DN Freaks. Thought to be a very consistent team and dominated the regional series in Korea, but they kind of fall behind in PGS 9 and surprise the global fans.
Yeah, this is another team, I think, along with Falcons, that have a very similar sort of path this year. where you're expecting them to maybe get one of those PGS wins or a win in EWC or something like that, but then they can never quite get there. They just come up short. So I think a lot of pressure on the Freaks to really represent the PWS at PGC and finally lift a trophy after being so close so many times.
Next is the Chinese team, 17 Gaming, and they again lifted the trophy in PGS.
They are so strong individually, especially Xiao Wu. When he's in those clutch moments, he's always coming up big for the team. It feels like Lil Ghost does a really nice job as sort of that scout/IGL. So I think this team just needs to tighten the screws a little bit, do a little bit better on some of the maps that aren't Erangel, and they can absolutely win a PGC. We know what they're capable of when they're at their best.
Next is Made in Thailand, which is the former Forest Natural Gaming, where Kiss showed up in the global stage and surprised all the fans.
Oh, this was such a fun team to watch this year. I mean, what a way to make an entrance in 2025. Coming into Shanghai, surprising all of us with their really patient but powerful gameplay where they wait to explode in the late game. They come alive, you know, Scappy and Kiss in particular just are absolutely incredible fraggers, and they're not afraid to take fights. I am such a big fan of this team now. They have really impressed here in 2025.
Next is BB Team, who won PGS-A, but barely made it to PGC 2025 because they missed the ticket to PGS 9 and 10.
Yeah, so still able to have those points from PGS 8 get them through. I know a doozy. He is going to come into that event and play really well. He always shows up at PGC, so I can't wait for BB Team to be there and show us what they've been preparing during their time off.
Talking about being nervous, I think Genji was feeling that best because they barely got into the PGC 2025, but Big Opa kind of helped them to go.
Yeah, they got a little bit of help from some friends, and they also did it themselves, right? Like, they started to really show up in the middle of the year. Big performances from some of the players like Tosi, like Flame, everybody on that team, frankly, Orca, all playing really, really well at times. This was the most pleasantly surprising team for me this year because my expectations weren't super high, but they definitely exceeded them.
So now we would like to talk about the teams to advance to the PGC 2025 by their regional series point, the PGC points. First to talk about is APAC region, and the first ranked in APAC regional series was the Expendable, which is former champion of PGC 2024.
Yeah, so even though the Expendables have been a little bit up and down this year, for sure, they've still showed us some really brilliant moments. They approach the game in such a different way compared to a lot of other teams. Tanvu very well may be the best player in the world right now, so I am really excited for the Expendables, expecting them to do damage.
Next is Theaton 5. They slightly changed the roster this year, but they still have rostered a junior and Bookie.
Yeah, still a strong team, still a veteran team with players who have been to every level of competition you can imagine, so they can still do damage. Exquisite coming in, he's another veteran of PUBG Esports. He just bolsters that roster a little bit.
And next is Arena with Norins, which is very familiar name in global stage.
No doubt, a very good player, of course. But really, two of the standout names on the arena are going to be Jacob, who has been a tremendous fragger for a while, but the recent step up has been Opans, who really surprised us in Malaysia and was constantly making these highlight reel plays. So I am excited for arena. They seem to be on the up and up.
Yeah, next is Anyone's Legend. Never showed up in PGS this year, but is a team with Himas and Haisaki.
Concerning with a player of Himas' caliber that they're not able to be consistent. It seems like Taikon may be moving into the coaching role, so still some questions about what this roster is going to look like and how they're going to be able to perform.
Next is Sharper Esports, and here we have Escolazia, who's been playing forever in the PUBG Esports scene.
Yeah, that's a name that definitely brings up some memories of some very old days of PUBG Esports. And, you know, let's be honest, the expectations here probably aren't going to be super high. They were at EWC. They didn't get out of groups. So now you're kind of looking at this team like, can they get to that last chance stage? If they can get to grand finals, that would be super awesome for them. So kind of curious to see what they're going to do.
And first in the Chinese PGC point is Petrico Road, the best team in China.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, this is a team that did so well during the PCS era, does so well domestically. Where is this in recent history? I want to see this team do amazingly. I want to see them compete for more titles, but in recent history, it's been a struggle at globals.
Next would be JDG Esports, a very famous esports club, and they were second in PGC points.
Obviously at PGS 9, they don't get out of groups. PGS 10, much better, right? They get in there, they get 8th, not bad. I need to see more. But for whatever reason, in Malaysia, it just didn't seem like they were comfortable. But players like Spaceman are really, really talented. December the 12th had some really good stuff. Cold was amazing with the Bolts. Need to see this team continue to grow.
Next is Game Start Win. Not so familiar with the team name, but familiar roster.
For sure. I mean, you have a PGC champion on this team, 2021, with New Happy. Zipian is here. He is a good IGL. He does a really nice job leading teams. Obviously, he's bringing another team to a global event. He's got some firepower behind him with players like Ming, like CC108. So, yeah, they can do some damage.
Next is Four Angry Men, the legit team in China. After bringing the Shen into the roster, I think fans are expecting more from this team.
Should be a lot of firepower on this team, but we haven't seen kind of that explosiveness. A little bit, I should say, in Malaysia. But I think with Shen there, I was really hoping that these guys would really come in fragging out, but they looked a little slow in Malaysia at times. 4AM, always at PUBG events, always a threat. I hope to see that at PGC.
Last but not least, it's changed the game. Fans might be unfamiliar with this team. Can you explain more?
Yeah, so this is a team led by Hengi. They qualified for the last 2 PGSs in Malaysia. Didn't really do the best. They weren't able to get out of groups, so still some work to do here, clearly. So we're hoping to see them step up.
Next is Korea region, and the first one to talk about is T1.
This is a team that is going to be a threat in the event. Could very well make the grand finals. We saw it last year that it kind of fell apart on that last day. You know, they were leading going into it. They couldn't quite hold on to it. I think now with Sonic there, really full-time as a coach, yeah, PWS didn't go so good for them in this last phase, but I think there's still hope for T1.
Next is Begopa, who won 3 chicken dinner in the last day of PGS 10.
This is exciting. I mean, how can you not feel great about seeing Begopa with PO back at a global event? This should be a really fun team. We'll have to wait and see. But, you know, with a player of PO's caliber that's going to be leading that team now, they should be a threat.
Next is FM Pochen. Rex play in PGS 910 was quite impressive.
He is one of the best individual players in Korea right now, but there is a bit of an issue where he gets a little overconfident, he overextends a little bit, or kind of goes for a play that maybe the team doesn't want him to, so they need to tighten up a little bit if they want to have a chance to get to that grand finals.
Last but not least is Osla Pentagram. They don't have the global event experience this year, but they are pretty much the similar roster from the old GNL.
Exactly, so you're seeing some of these players that have been to some global events, never really done much in terms of damage, so still some work to do, but it kind of all centers around Glaz as their IGL, trying to be aggressive around his play calling. Can they do anything at PGC? I don't know, but you never, you know, with some young players there, they might surprise.
Let's move on to the EMEA region. First to go is Geek Esports. They managed to earn the point from the PC Spring this year.
Yeah, they played really well in their own region this year, but outside of that, it hasn't quite gone their way. So even with bringing Diffex in for EWC, didn't really change much for them in terms of their international results. Still a strong team, still great fraggers on here. It's just a big question of, you know, can they pick it up?
Next is FaZe Clan, another legit team with similar roster but bringing Vard in.
Yeah, and it looked pretty good. Honestly, you know, it seemed like now that they could get back to the global stage, they went to PGS, they played pretty well, got 7th in the first in Malaysia, 11th in the second. We know these players, we know how good they can be, we know how much experience they have in PUBG Esports, just got to put it all together.
Next is Team Orchid, and Boostic showed quite an impressive performance.
He's insane. The guy is just so talented, especially with the assault rifles and the DMRs. Like, first global event, let's see how they can do at PGC.
Next is Navi. This team showed a very good performance in the group stage of PGSs, but all of a sudden start to struggle when they go to the final stage. But we have to say that Hakatori, best fragger in PUBG Esports right now.
No doubt, he is one of the best players in the world right now. You know, in PGS 10, he averaged 400 damage per game. throughout the entire event. That is unreal. Those are unreal numbers that very few people are capable of putting up. So certainly Na'Vi should be on everyone's minds. You don't want to be in their group, that's for sure. If they can get to the grand finals, we hope that they can carry that confidence over that they have in group stages.
Last but not least is Nemiga Gaming, the former Win or Die.
Yeah, and they're going to be new to the global stage. So this is going to be a challenging event. Going to have to see these guys step up, but very curious. Again, EMEA on the rise this year, so who knows?
Next to go is America's region PGC points. First seed goes to Team Liquid, the old TSM squad, which had a really good chance to win in the PGC 2024.
Still only could get second. They were close, but this year has been kind of up and down for them, and we're all hoping that these guys can pick it up because we know what they're capable of. We know how good these guys are. We know how smart Purdy Curdy is. Where are the results? We're hoping that the confidence is there for PGC this year.
Next is Furia Esports, our South American team. We are quite familiar with some of the names in the team.
For sure. Gizera is a household name in the PAS. He is a tremendous fragger. Posa made a name for himself on the international level at being a point salvager. So kind of looking for this team to rebound after a bad second half of the year. Can they come into PGC, have that kind of fire underneath them, and do some damage?
Next is Copenhagen Wolves, the former MRIA.
Yeah, for sure. And I think a few people are going to now know Gaps based on that kind of solo performance he had on their last game of the group stage in PGS. Really almost gave them some hope to get into that grand finals. It wasn't meant to be, but this is a team that should be scary, I think. There's good players here. Thank God you guys changed your names. It's an absolute mouthful as a caster, and I'm really happy you guys got into work. So let's see what they can do.
Next is Alcazia Esports, and Relo and Roth is a familiar name here.
No doubt. These two guys have been around for a really long time. They're doing a great job setting the example, leading these two new players, D and Cowboy, who impressed, especially at PGS 9. My God, these guys can play. They did a great job in hot drop situations too, so they learned a lot at PGS in the lead up to the event.
Last is ROC Esports, our second South American team.
I'm really happy that these guys are back. I like this team a lot. I like the 1-2 punch of BL and Fantastico. Insanely talented individual players. RBN a very solid IGL. Yeah, again, didn't make it to PGS in Malaysia, but we saw what they could do in Shanghai, so this is still a very, very scary squad, and I can't wait to see them at PGC.
So we've covered all 33 teams participating in PGC 2025, and let's move on to some watch points to better enjoy PGC 2025. First could be our updates in-game in the esports. So we've implemented this changes C4, bullet chip recall system, BRD aim, starting from PNC, and how do you think it has been implemented in the global esports?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're definitely seeing some impact. Blue chip system is pretty interesting in terms of it gives teams a little bit more flexibility to feel comfortable going for hot drops maybe. The BRDM is very impactful, I think. It can give you a lot of confidence in that late game. C4s are super impactful because of the way that you can attach them to vehicles, throw them at structures or enemy team positions, and as long as your timing's good, it can be really annoying. But we did see some counterplay to that. We saw FaZe throw some smokes out in front of their building to make it hard for the other team to push off the back of their C4. So there is ideas being adopted all around these new things.
And as mentioned, PUBG Mobile and PUBG is coming together as a PUBG United, and you'll be able to enjoy a lot about PUBG IP, the PUBG brand, and PMGC, PGC all together in Bangkok, Thailand. And specifically in the grand finals, we have a one united stage where we can see PGC and PMGC all together, and we'll have the biggest ever opening ceremony together. And we'll try to showcase the interesting events every day in this united stage, so please make sure to tune in.
Also, of course, we have the Pickup Challenge, as always. Great way to earn some prizes and some in-game items. So it's actually already open, started on November 5th. So get in there. You can go into the store, get your voting coupons. You've got a chance to pick the top 6 teams, right? So you go in there, pick who you think is gonna win the whole event. Yeah, so every time you get these predictions correct, you get EP. You can then take that EP into the store to buy some items. Super sick. Also, the coupons will be available to use until December 12th, right up to the grand finals. So make sure that you get in there and get your choices picked before we close the doors.
We also have drop event ready to earn various drops by watching live streaming of PGC 2025, so don't miss that too. PUBG Global Championship 2025 will be held from November 18th to December 14th in Bangkok, Thailand, group stage and last stage in Central World, and the grand finals in Siam Paragon. So stay tuned to check out which team will be the PUBG Global Championship 2025 champions. See you in Bangkok. Bye bye!